all you need to know is that if we haven't been able to get pregnant and then you message me just to announce that you're pregnant, it's not a good way to do it. Also, a phone call where it is just pure joy and you're so excited and you can't wait to hear my happy reaction without any kind of warning from you that this is something you guys have been trying for. That's also really hard. Don't expect me. I'm just speaking on my behalf. Some of my other friends who've been trying for years and years and years, they might have a different opinion. But for me, don't expect me to share your excitement right away. It's something that you need to take a little bit, I need to take a little bit of time to process, because especially if you haven't been here along for the ride while we have started treatment, you don't know how difficult it's been. Okay, this is an extreme example and an extreme analogy, but think of it this way. It would be like calling up your friend who has cancer. Yes, they have a whole plan of treatment. Yes, they're starting chemo. Yes, everybody's like, don't worry, you caught this early. I think you're going to be okay. But this person starting treatment for cancer, imagine that you called them up one day and said, I just wanted to call you and tell you that I'm feeling so good today. Like, I could not feel healthier. I'm about to take this big vacation. I feel amazing, and I just wanted you to know. It's an extreme comparison, but it's how it feels. So keep that in mind. Another thing is, not everybody wants a phone call. These days, a lot of us are better with text and better with social media. I'm technically somebody who falls into that category. I'm sorry, but it's how I like to do things now. If you know your friend well enough and you think that that's the method they would prefer, then sure, text, don't call. But text in a way that acknowledges their feelings. Text in a way that says something like, I know this is going to be really hard news for you. Just take a minute. If your friend means a lot to you, put aside your excitement for a second. I know it's difficult, but you kind of have to what's the word? I'm forgetting the right word for that. But compartmentalize. Just compartmentalize your excitement, put it over here for a second, focus on your friend who's been struggling to have a baby for so many years, and just think about how they would feel to get that piece of news. They will eventually be happy for you. I promise they will. Unless they're the kind of friend that lets their jealousy consume them. That's a whole other type of person. But if they're not one of those people, they will find ways to be happy for you. They will probably even come to the baby shower if they can do enough emotional strength training to get to that point where they feel like they're not just going to cry through the whole thing. I've been to baby showers and I've wanted to cry the entire time. But if the person means enough to me, I will show up. But don't expect in that initial text message or initial phone call that if you don't also acknowledge how hurtful that must feel for them, don't expect a positive reaction. Acknowledging that it's really hard to hear is a great way to at least lay on a little understanding while you also give them some truth. And the best way would be to tell them in person. I'm really sensitive, so if it's possible to tell me in person, tell me in person. Literally even hold my hand. Don't be condescending, but hold my hand or give me a hug and say that this has been really, really hard for me. But, and you don't understand what that feels like, but that you wanted me to know that you're pregnant. I mean, if you're really curious, you can even message me. Most of you guys have my contact info, or just message me on Instagram. I will tell you, if you and your spouse are trying to get pregnant, I will tell you exactly how I would like to hear the news when you eventually get pregnant. And one last thing before I go. If you're someone who's been trying to get pregnant and you've been having a really hard time, just know, hello, if you didn't already know this about us, you are not alone. We are in this same boat. So feel free to let me know your struggles. It's not just a clear, like, oh, you turned 35, you're probably going to have trouble. Some of my friends who I've gotten to know over the last 2 years who have had the most trouble were actually under 30 when they got started. And then the more research you do, the more you find out about your body. Maybe you'll find out that there's actually one condition that you have that's holding you back that you could get fixed, or that, you know, that's not gonna, it's, again, I shouldn't say that. It's not like you get that one thing fixed or you start medication for that one thing and then you'll suddenly get pregnant overnight. It's definitely not that easy. But sometimes it takes longer than you think. And then other times you have actually gotten a doctor's diagnosis that says, we don't know why, but you seem to be infertile, which is where we are right now, which is so fucking frustrating. But it's where we are. So we're just taking every day in stride and going to see what happens. I hope this helped a little bit. If I could just sum it all up really quickly, I would say the worst thing you can do is just send a simple text message with some sort of photo. Like, don't send me a photo of the pregnancy test or of your growing baby bump. Probably also the worst thing too would be if we're close friends, and I find out over social media instead of a direct message or phone call from you. Well, again, I'm not really the phone call type anymore. So, like, sure, I'll answer the phone for my absolute closest friends, but that's like a handful of 4 people. So, yeah, I just can't stress enough. The more personalized it is, the better. And the more sensitive it is and empathetic it is, the better. So please don't send a quick text. Please don't send a quick text with a photo. Please don't send a bunch of smiley emojis and pregnancy emojis and little baby emojis. Babies, I don't know, babies don't look like that, but you get me. And definitely, if you're going to post on social media, just please reach out to your friends who are close to you, who have been dealing with infertility, and let them know in a very careful way what's happening, that you're pregnant, and that you plan to announce on social media. It sucks to find out that way. Okay, I hope this helped a little bit. It's just my opinions. I know for a fact, though, a lot of women agree with me, and not that that makes it easier to deliver this news or to make this video, but I think it's a pretty accurate description of how shitty it can feel when you find out in a way that is less thought out. Okay, this got long. Thanks for watching, guys. I will hopefully talk to all of you soon.